Welcome back to Voluminum. This is episode 18. So, if you can remember back in the early episodes, I had a chicken cooker that would supply all of my food. Well, it worked great. So great, in fact, that I had an excess of food being stored, and the chickens were beginning to become a nuisance, so I opted to just take it down and kill all the chickens. But now I'm on my very last Shulker box of cooked chicken. So it's high time for a new stable food supply. And that would be the reason I'm here at this mushroom island. It's not too far from spawn, maybe a couple thousand blocks through the nether. But what's great about this island is there being a stronghold just down below here with an end portal. Yep, right there. So at any time I could hop into the end and go to spawn, or place a bed here, go to the end for whatever reason I need, and come back without having to travel so far. That is also the reason for picking this island specifically, in fact. There were two other islands much closer and smaller than this one, but I really wanted a quick access to an end portal, seeing as how my main storage will be there. That will be a trend throughout the world as well. Anyways, I've always wanted to make a passive mob farm. I never have, and I think it will be a fun project to work on while I get away from digging in stone for a while. I know I could probably make an easier general passive mob farm that wouldn't be as much work as farming mushroom cows, but I've got my mindset on this for now, and maybe I'll also build a general farm later on. I'm also very aware that when 1.16 comes out, there will be really easy cooked pork chop farms available from farming hoglins. But first of all, they could still change the spawning algorithms for hoglins, or make their spawn rates really slow even. And two, you can get more from farming mushroom cows than just hoglins. So, the plan is to rid the whole island of mycelium, so there are no places for the cows to spawn. Then it's on to making the farm. Sounds easy enough. I think I'll take down these giant mushrooms first, and then get to work on removing the mycelium. I think covering it all with water would be another option, or just making it spawn proof just like any other mob farm, but I actually want to make it look good and not just some barely recognizable landmass with a hole in the middle of it. Okay, well, I think that's enough small talk. Let's get started. Alright, welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed the time lapse. It might have been a little hard to follow at some points. I used my alt account to spectate and try to get the best view on things. If it isn't clear by now, I'm not using replay mod. I've only had bad experiences with it. Whether it's the video file corrupting, or not playing correctly, or just crashing whenever I try to render it. It just isn't working for me. So I've accepted that time lapses will just be using my second account and working with that. So you might have also noticed that I changed my mind part of the way through removing the mycelium and and just went all in on removing the entire island. Remember what I said, I wanted this project to also look good. So while I was digging, I was looking over at my progress on the second account and just didn't like what I was seeing with just the dirt hills. I didn't think it would look so good. So like I said, instead of testing the water, I jumped in with both feet and took it all down. I'm very happy with the result, although it did take a lot longer. What would have taken me probably a day or two is taken a week now. But I think it was well worth it. Now on to building the actual farm. I'm not going off of any build guides or tutorials for this. I'm just going to make what I think will work best. Now there was a change I think in the recent snapshots that turned mycelium or grass back to dirt if water was covering it, or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. Either way, I'm not going to use water. I've got something brewing around in my head that may or may not work. We'll see. And while I was digging, there was a few thunderstorms, so I've got a couple brown cows here for keeps. Ow. Alright. This hole is 2 by 6 chunks with a 5 block buffer around to increase the pack spawning attempts for the spawn pads, which will be built low as possible. Obviously I've got to do a little bit more digging here. And that'll increase the rates as well, so we should be looking at a pretty fast farm if I do this right. Something else to consider though is the passive mob cap. I need to make sure while running this farm the only passive mobs spawning are in this farm. For that to happen, I need to make sure no other chunks in my world have passive mobs in them, including spawn chunks, and chunks being loaded by the hostile mob switches for the nether and the overworld. So before I go making the farm and testing rates for things, let's go investigate. Well, it's evident here. There is definitely an issue with the amount of grass blocks in the spawn, and I've got a lot of passive mobs hanging around taking out the mob cap. That is indeed an issue. I think the best plan of action for now would be to set up a beacon grid and remove all the grass. I think for now I'll actually flatten the land here to sea level at least, and make sure grass can't regenerate back into the spawn chunks and allow more passive mobs to spawn. I don't think I want to mark out spawn chunks with blocks, at least for now, because I don't know if that will be a permanent thing or not. But if it is, I don't know what kind of blocks I'd want to be outlining the spawn with chunks anyway. So for now, I'm just going to flatten this all out, trim up the area around the iron farm, and while I'm here, I think I'll light it all up so it's hostile spawn proof as well. Alright, welcome back. Making pretty good progress on flattening out spawn here. So yeah, I went ahead and brought everything down to sea level here at 62, and decided I might as well take it down one more layer and bring the ocean in to cover this area here that's only land, because it's you can see where it came out here. This was all part of the land all up to here. This was the main island, or the starting island that was at here where the actual portal was. I moved the portal over there on the other side of the iron farm, and you can see I got all the beacon I got this little beacon grid up just at this section here. I don't need the beacon grid out there in the ocean, at least for now. So, but yeah, this beacon grid covered all the way up to the lazy chunks of spawn. I'm having this weird visual glitch too. That's where the lazy chunk here on the other side of the entity processing chunks are. It's like a solid wall instead of like see-through how it normally is, but it's not a big deal. What you go through here is just it's just like a solid wall. You can't see anything on the other side of it. But anyways, yep, all the way up to here is all flattened out. So the plan is just to bring this ocean out, take this last layer off, and cover the entire spawn in water. And that'll solve the issue of any grass blocks and issues of mob spawning as well. There'd be no mob spawning. They can't spawn on a one high block of water, obviously, even drowned. I think squid might be able to spawn, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, I thought I'd give a little progress update here and just show where I'm at. I left some of these little floating grass blocks in those little ponds that can generate out in the plains, just for the sake of leaving them up. It's kind of funny looking. I might take them down though. But yeah, I've got a little bit more work to do here, and then spawn is all the way done. And for now, I'm leaving the iron farm up. I think I'm going to change the blocks around it though, to where it's not just these crappy looking stone and dirt blocks. I'll probably make this look a little bit better, and then have a better looking way down as well, so this isn't sticking out. And you know, like I said, this isn't permanent, but for now it's staying, so I want to make it look better until I get my final iron farm up, you know, in due time, right? In the meantime, we are pretty good on iron. These guys are coming in swimmingly. And if you notice, I got a bunch of orange boxes, so I've made the decision that all the random shulker boxes in my world, I want to make orange. Kind of resemble the lion color. Like when I think of a lion, I think of the color orange or maybe yellow. Yellow might even look okay, but I think orange will be good for now. So I'm making all my like extra spare shulker boxes orange. And then I don't know. I might change it up to yellow because yellow does look a little bit better. Orange is kind of like really loud, if that makes any sense. So yeah, because you know, if you watch SciCraft or pay attention to any of the tech servers, they generally have a color of like they dye all their spare boxes white. And a couple other servers I've seen dye it different colors, like light blue or green maybe. And I decided for my world I want to have them orange or yellow. Gonna decide. I think I'm sticking with orange though. I like orange. So yeah, I'll give you another update when this is done, and then we're gonna head over to some other parts of the world that are loaded that may have an issue with passive mobs being loaded, and I'll see you then. And we're back. It is all filled in. The ocean is all the way up to the lazy chunks of spawn, right up to this wall here. I might do something about this actually. When I say this, I mean how it's suddenly cut off like a chunk error almost. I might terraform it somewhat to be more natural looking. I just got to add a few more beacons a little farther out so I can make it look, you know, might flatten this all the way down to here and then flatten this as well. Let's fly up because this, flatten this big mountain, not all the way down, but just further down, and then have it kind of slope down to where it would, looks like it comes up almost. And then I want to outline where the actual entity processing chunks are, like the green chunks here. I do want to have a border that goes around to show that at least, but I don't know what I want to build, and I don't want to place blocks around it if I end up one day making a sweeper to clear out the water or something. So for now, I'm just going to leave it like this, and everything is spawn proof. Only block that's left is that little one over here, the 0, 0. Woo! And I'm just going to leave this here for now. Nothing's going to spawn on this, and it's not bothering anything. I think I will actually one day make a shulker switch. That way, the hostile mob cap in the overworld is permanently loaded. Even if I turn the server off or log out or anything, I'll always have the hostile switch on. But for now, I'm just going to use withers because they're much easier to work with than just chunk load. And this is the little platform here where we've got the ender chest, just some random junk in here, a bed, crafting table, and the portal back to the nether. I am going to take this down actually very soon, maybe in between episodes, because I've got tons of iron. I've got like way more than I think I'm going to need for any projects for the near future, so I'm going to take this down, but I am going to save the villagers. I'm going to put them through the portal and send them over to where we're going to build our actual end game iron farm. But for now, I'll just put them in a little holding cell and take this down so spawn is totally clear. Maybe, like I said, terraform that. So let's move on to checking out some other spots in the world that might have passive mobs loaded. Okay, we're back over here. This place should look familiar at least. This is where I marked out the active chunks that were loaded by our overworld mob switch, the withers down there. It is lightning. Holy cow, that scared me. Yeah, this should be good because I've already dug this out. I had some forethought and went ahead and figured this out, but there is the nether mob switch overworld side that is loaded. So, yeah, I'm gonna go there next. Aha! The culprit. There are a bunch of passive mobs spawning over here right now, actually. So, this has got to be marked out. This is going to be marked out and cleared of all grass blocks and passive mobs, so nothing is taking up the mob cap. But I think other than this, we should be good on areas in the world that are loaded with passive mobs. Spawn is clear. Overworld mob switch side is clear. I just need to clear this side of the nether mob switch, and we should be golden. And it's done. That didn't take too long. I actually had a good stream while digging these 5x5 chunks out, and this video is kind of starting to drag on, so I think I'll actually start uploading some stream highlight videos if I actually stream enough. I'll have really off weeks where I'll have like 3 or 4 days that I can stream an hour or two, and then I'll have a month or two go by where I have no time to stream. So the stream highlights I won't make any promises on, but as far as episodes go, yeah, those can still be relied upon, just like I was talking about before. What is? Oh, it was kelp. Okay. Yeah, so this is all dug out. I gave it the same treatment that I gave spawn. I just took it all the way down to sea level. So there's nothing here for anything to spawn on. I don't like this here, so I might experiment with like TNT and just kind of blast it all up just to have less of a like perfect right angle. But as I was digging, I was flying around and I noticed this like little valley right here, and this is really cool looking. This like mountain, and then you can kind of go down, woo, in this little pool, and it has naturally generated lava waterfall coming down into it, and then waterfall, and then a little one right here, and it's just right on the other side of where I was digging. I didn't dig over here either. This is from like right there is where it stopped, and then this is all natural, you know that. And I think this is a really cool little area. I might experiment with some decorative building. We'll see. I just wanted to show this off. But yeah, now that this is done, again the same goes for this area being chunk loaded by the nether mob switch. I need to give the same treatment to the overworld side that's being loaded with the overworld mob switch way over there, I think. I showed that I dug that out, down to where it's, I think, like Y40 or something like that, just where there's no grass or water or anything like that. So these are temporary
projects, or projects being kind of put on hold for now because this just doesn't look good, and I want to do something cool, like maybe have a Coliseum around this one, and then the other one have like a fort, some kind of build around it, just to kind of make it to where it isn't just this weird spot in the world. It just looks, I don't know. I don't mind having like just industrial or really unnatural looking builds around the world. I'm more of like a just build it so it's usable kind of player, and that's normally like the default mindset that I have for things. So it doesn't bother me much, but the fact that I'm kind of making videos out of this and for entertainment, I want it to be something that someone will look at and be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," or "That's interesting," kind of thing, instead of just something that I could use for my needs. If I was just playing by myself without recording any of this, I would probably decorate nothing. So I gotta put in a little bit of effort at least, or at least try to. Okay, so now that every possible place in the world there could be passive mob spawns should be eliminated, and we're back over here at the mushroom area, or mushroom island area, that is going to be where the farm's gonna go. As you can see, I've been doing some digging. I'm at 23, so that's pretty good. I'm almost there, pretty close, but I'm really feeling the fatigue here in this digging, back and forth, back and forth. I think I did this all weekend, basically. But this is where I'm at now. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of fatigued from doing all this digging. The good news is I reached my 2 millionth mine block in the world. Got it right here. Whoop. This block right there. That was the one. Let me pull up the scoreboard. Diamond pick uses. Yeah, a little bit over that now. So that the clip that is probably being shown is a little bit older. Yeah, I'm at 2.3 mil right now, but this was the 2 millionth block that I mined. All right, and this will go next to the 1 millionth block. We are at 2 millionth block. Do I really need to put TH there? I don't think so. Block mined. And I actually mined it on May the 19th? I think so. Let me double check, actually. Yeah, May 19th. There we go! Our 1 millionth and 2 millionth block. And just for continuity's sake, I need to change this sound really quick. Yeah. There. Beautiful. Right, well, unfortunately, that's going to do it for this episode. We didn't get to make the actual mushroom farm, but we are well on our way there to making it, and it's going to be good. But I want to introduce you to my friend 0.164%. This is something that happened during the live stream. We caught this pink sheep. I didn't realize how rare it was, so we brought it all the way back here, and I may or may not add a little clip at the end of the episode here to highlight that, but yeah, there he is. He's joined our home. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh jeez, I have my keyboard in my mouse. Shut up, sheep. Whoa! Isn't this rare? Aren't pink sheep super rare? Bro, I gotta catch this thing. Come back. They're rare for real? Dude, look at me. I got a sheep. There's no way it's a 0.1% chance. It's probably like a 5% chance. I want to keep him though. Oh man, this is great.